Descendant, this place is a Kuiper mine that has been taken over by the Vulgus. The Vulgus' Kuiper mining methods are extremely aggressive and lead to devastating contamination. The ores we seized from them are unusable, so they must be destroyed. That storage box contains the Kuiper collected by the enemy. Opening it will reveal the contaminated Kuiper. Kuiper disassembler operational. Please destroy as much of the Vulgus Kuiper as possible. accomplished, Descendant?
This is Sharon. Nice work with the support. I've managed to shake off their tracking. I'm scouting for intel around the factory. I've relayed the coordinates of the temporary outpost, requesting all units to regroup at the designated location. Officially beginning infiltration operation.
High-value target confirmed. Facility? Vulgus Kuiper Refinery. Descendant, the Kuiper Refinery is a vital resource facility for Vulgus. However, it is heavily armored. Total destruction is unfeasible. Use the enemy's fuses to disable the generator. That will bring the refinery to a halt. Parts identified. Wait, our surveillance equipment is picking up enemy comm signals.
Arcade tracking matrix operational. Descendants detected in the area of the Kuiper refinery. Guardian Unit Tara. Highly suitable for facility defense combat. Deployment ready.
Damn. Looks like they're just sending one of their envoys. I was hoping the commander would show up. Application confirmed. One generator remaining. Descendant, a high-level Vulgus is heading toward the refinery. It's likely to be Carl.
I'm loading.
Descendant located. Activating quantum Kuiper force field. Initiate elimination of the Descendant. Protect the refinery.
Descendant, this is a dangerous Vulgus. It would be best to eliminate it. Vulgus signal lost. I was hoping Ederle would show up, but oh well. Thank you, Descendant. Signal lost. I was hoping Ederman would show up, but oh well. Thank you, Descendant.
Loading. Magisters are probably humanity's real hope, don't you think?
Ask me anything about modules.
Deactivating active camouflage. I'm alive, thanks to you. And you even found time to attack the Vulgus Kuiper facility. I've really gotta hand it to you. Oh yeah, how did I manage to get the slip on Ederlich? He retreated as soon as the battle at the mining site was over and headed toward a facility. It looked like he'd planned to do so from the beginning. I wondered what he was up to, but he actually did us a favor in the end. I think the Ironheart excavation site is underneath that facility. A pretty hastily built structure? Check. Multiple security devices guarding the entrance? Check. Commander-level Vulgus disappearing inside? You can see how it all adds up, right? I need to assign missions to all operatives to shut down the facility's multiple security devices. It'll require specific procedures, but I've had experience in dismantling many of these types of devices. Let's move. We need to get in there before the Vulgus can do anything to the excavation site.
I have to admit, not even my arcade can penetrate the quantum barrier of these security devices. Those rust buckets have put some thought into this.
Operation status, jammer installation complete. Using the jammer to neutralize the distress signal sent by Ederlich should allow us to bypass one of the Vulgus' security measures. Your task is to protect the jammer while I work. Tactical target achieved. Enemy security devices disabled. Mission accomplished.
security system, you'll need a unique authentication sequence used by the Legion of Immortality. You need to collect samples from the Legion in good condition and put them in the supply box. These will be analyzed in Albion, and they'll send us a sequence we can use for security authentication. The authentication sequence is as good as secured. Good job. This is Sharon. All Vulgus security levels have been successfully deactivated. All units regroup at my position to investigate the Ironheart excavation site.
Regroup? Huh. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll sit this one out, Sharon.
What did you say?
I'm loading.
Sending info on Mark. Objective, neutralize the base's power grid. Deactivating the power is the most basic and surefire way to break through a security system. Now that the attack has begun, tech units that protect the generators will start appearing. These units have the fuse parts we need. Use the parts to burn out the generator circuits.
I'm loading.
This is the last generator. Keep going, Descendant.
Concentrate defensive forces at our facility. Send high-level firepower units. The Descendant must be stopped. Execute them.
This could get messy.
Power has been deactivated. Security system compromised. Tactical target achieved. Terminating mission relay.
Barracks unrecoverable. Defense failed.
You've done it, Descendant. Mission relay terminated.
Get to the point. It seems as if all of you have forgotten, so I'll repeat myself one more time, since they're here too. It looks like it'll be a guide-related mission from this point on, which means I can't have anything to do with it, right? You're the one who told me I should be in a supporting role, Sharon. Yeah? Since I can't connect to the guide. Report that to HQ however you like. It's not like they have a cell that can hold me, do they? Nah. Maybe I will sit in a cell and get some rest. It's been a while. Last time I was there, it was really fun. I'm not sure who blabbed about my secret operation, but I guess that's just my little walk down.
Sharon, give me the order and I will track him.
Let him be. Jeremy's RK ability is teleportation. We have no way of catching him.
Descendant, although it was not my intention, there seems to be a misunderstanding with Jeremy. I do not choose who I am linked with. The process follows strict directives woven into RK by the ancestors. I have no knowledge of the details of these directives, nor am I capable of ignoring them. If I were able to alter those directives, would I have been able to resolve this misunderstanding with Jeremy? Could I ease Alpha's suspicions? The human mind is difficult to comprehend. It feels like a mass of powerful energy surrounded by a resilient defense mechanism, almost like an iron heart. I apologize for occupying your time. for an important operation. I will focus on the emergency restoration protocol and remain on standby. I hope I can bring results that reflect the level of effort you have put into this operation.
You'll need to leave first, Descendant. Sharon's prosthesis has been damaged from excessive RK use. We'll join you as soon as we can.
Don't worry. You've seen what they're capable of. I hope these repairs can be done quickly.
So this is the Ironheart excavation site that was documented in the Ancestors' data. As you must know, the Ironhearts are mysterious entities that somehow made their way to Ingress. They were first discovered by the Architect. The Ironhearts were passed down to the Ancestors, my creators, and the forebears of the Descendants. We don't know why the Ancestors hid all the Ironhearts. But this much is certain. I was created in order to lead you to them. After that, well, we'll come to that once we find you an Ironheart. Descendant, I'm detecting an unusual energy flow nearby. These are traces of Ironheart excavation. Ironheart microparticles confirmed. Initiating emergency restoration protocols to repair damaged systems. Descendant, we have retrieved Ironheart elements from the excavation site. Next, I must... Oh no. This wasn't just an excavation site. I need to interface with the quantum monolith, a data processor belonging to the Ancestors. This device contains my restoration data, which can be copied using Ironheart microparticles. I can guide you there. However, to access the quantum monolith, Descendant, I must undergo authentication here first. I should still have access, as it was my system and memories that were damaged. Please keep the Vargas at bay while the authentication is in progress.
Intruders accessing core asset. Approaching high-risk levels. Initiating facility lockdown procedures.
Descendant. Passageways are being blocked across the facility. I'll do my best to find a way out, but it won't be easy to maneuver. Please be careful. Excavation site. There must have been countless experiments conducted here using the Iron Hearts. Emergency restoration protocols would have been one of them.
No one can leave! Executing Legion of Immortality General Amon's orders!
Amen. Descendant. I must access the quantum monument. Defeat the Vulgus.
The void corrosion has encroached upon my legion.
That is because of an unknown error. It will be fixed momentarily. Complete. The security threat has been neutralized. I have completed all preparations as you commanded.
Begin.
The Legion will be reborn through the Iron Heart.
Rise, my warriors! Give your lives for Clipper! To our enemy! vanguard for me, Al-Zaruk. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Al-Zaruk submits to Lord Karel's command. Armor, transport the Ironheart to my fortress. Initiate the data inversion immediately.
Descendant, even though the Vulgus managed to access the data first, I have been able to restore one of my core functions through the emergency restoration protocol. I am finally able to detect the Ironheart. Let me explain this function and how to utilize it.
The communications deception transmitter at the Vulgus base is operational. Descendant, you need to protect the transmitter while it is operating. If the diversion works, we can detain a number of enemies here.
Destroy the living. Invader location.
Multiple Vulgus are closing in on the transmitter. There is a high probability that this is the result of the communications diversion. Continue to engage them and stall for time as long as possible.
Voting.
Tactical target achieved. Mission accomplished, Descendant.
My Ironheart detection system has a scanning function which uses RK to detect certain environmental factors. Within zones where RK can be detected, my system can track the Ironheart through its unique pulse, particles, and energy. The tracking range and accuracy depends on where RK particles are distributed across Ingress. At present, considering the operational zones where Descendants are deployed, approximately 35% of Ingress can be covered. I have just detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location, which is important. There is clearly something of interest at the Vulgus munitions factory. By using my detection system Descendant, I can find traces of the Ironheart through Descendants who have been deployed throughout Ingress. However, the Vulgus called Eamon, the one who accessed the quantum monolith, gained a great deal of relevant information after repairing the Ironheart. It seems the theft of the Ancestors' data was also led by Eamon. Even though he is a Vulgus, he possesses a high level of understanding of the Ancestors' technology. However, a Vulgus is only a Vulgus. They cannot defeat a direct descendant of the Ancestors. Use me to find the Ironheart descendant. I will assist humankind from this moment forward.
Descendant, I've received the report on the results of the operation from Colon Special Forces. It seems the core functionality of the guide has been restored. I have a related operation for you. Please return to HQ. Descendant, a quick word before the briefing. You seem to be a little too preoccupied with your AI friend. The guide is only a strategic tool. She is essentially data, and data can be manipulated by external factors, or even by itself. We should never see it as being at the same level as those of us who have fought together against the enemy and built our Keep that in mind, and you'll be the best teammate anyone could ask for. I trust you to keep... As you may be aware, the guide has detected...
The location is inside the Vulgus munitions factory.
Once you've completed preparations, join... We've kept our end of the bargain. Now...
HQ, we appreciate the support. The operation will commence once reinforcements arrive.
Deactivating active camouflage. Sorry, I wasn't able to help you at the excavation. To be honest, I'm not sure if my functions, my skills, aren't full. It takes a huge amount of RK to maintain the Kuiper retroreflective active camouflage. It feels like my prosthesis and I are both slowly reaching our limits. But if the Ironheart... The guide said that Ironheart particle... I've compared the location of these footprints to the recon intel. I'll send the details of the zone...
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the archy of Descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing. Descendant, our reconnaissance indicates this is a Vulgus weapon processing facility. To analyze the particle flow, we need to take a closer look inside. The Vulgus are disrupting the particle flow. Please eliminate them, Descendant. More enemies. I'm detecting signals from multiple Vulgus. This attack is relentless. Where are all their forces coming from?
We've already destroyed their barracks. There must be another military facility somewhere.
Judging by the particle field, the Ironheart came through here and was moved somewhere else. I'll keep analyzing. I'm not sure why, but I'm sensing Ironheart particles in the wastewater in this zone. Can you confirm?
Voting.
I've taken over operation of the environmental data collector we've installed. When we retrieve it, we'll be able to check the environmental parameters without coming into contact with contaminated wastewater. Will there be enough data for you to perform an analysis, Guide? You know our equipment can't detect Ironheart traces.
Once I complete analysis of the composition of the wastewater, I should know why I can detect Ironheart particles.
Then we'd better retrieve the data quickly. It will only be available for a limited amount of time.
This wastewater is composed of Kuiper extracts and bulbous electrolytes. The Ironheart particles are most likely bound between those two substances. That's why they were detected intact and not dispersed.
If we can find the source of that wastewater, we could trace them more accurately. I have a place in mind. HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Carell aboard. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more Descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facilities.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, we would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun in the Albion mountain range is probably our heaviest hitter. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. Closing the dimensional wall to isolate Ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone.
Descendant, this is a Vulgus logistics facility where raw materials and products needed for the munitions factories are distributed. As this is where the Ironheart particles were detected, we may find a lead in their distribution routes. If you can connect your receive to a terminal, I'll try hacking into the distribution records. Tactical target achieved. Zone with substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon.
Descendant. I can detect both Ironheart particles and its pulse in this zone. It keeps moving. If you and Sharon can widen the range of Arche, I can obtain more. Also, my system has been more inconvenienced than I expected. I believe that once it was. However, it may be that my system has yet to be completely restored in order to achieve my goal. Our goal.
Let's think about that later, if we make it out alive. If the Vulgus have a large assault ship, they'll soon be pouring into this place. Number 17 and I will operate in stealth mode. You stay sharp.
Magisters are probably humanity's real hope, don't you think?
Ask me anything about modules.
Descendant, I have found a suitable location for detecting Arnhard pulses. This is a large nuclear reactor, which is connected to this entire zone. By comparing the reactor's pulses with the Vulgus biosignals, I can detect pulses from a wide area. Deactivated the nuclear reactor. But right up until it was deactivated, I could detect Ironheart pulses. I'll attempt to trace that location.
This is believed to be a Vulgus bioengineering facility. Remember the wastewater treatment plant where we found Ironheart particles? The wastewater pipes from there connect to this facility. We can figure out what these bastards have been up to when we take a look around. Look for a Vulgus terminal to access it.
Be careful, Descendant. I've identified multiple Vulgus signals inside the facility. Expect random hostile encounters.
We're too late. All experimental data has been deleted.
Not all of it. There's a cache of records about the most recent experiments. It's not ideal, but I'll try to restore it as best I can.
In the meantime, you and I might as well follow the Ironheart particles. There are Ironheart particles and faint traces of energy everywhere. Judging by these traces, the energy extracted from the Ironheart was injected into the Vulgus submerged in the Kuiper solution. The Vulgus genes and Kuiper must have fused as a result. The pain would have been terrible. Not even a Vulgus could have endured it.
That's why there were Ironheart particles in the wastewater. But Guide, one of the experiment chambers is empty. Did one of them survive?
The chances of something having survived this are close to 0%, but I cannot be sure. Descendant. It is hidden within the... I can detect. I recommend we investigate this place.
Sharon, I will stay behind and retrieve the cache of Vulgus experiment records. I'm sure they'll contain valuable information.
I'll enter the inner facility first. Join me when you're ready. Most of the main passageways are now either blocked or destroyed. It appears the enemy intends to destroy the entire facility. Air vents, drainage pipes, maintenance ducts. Use any available alternative means of escape that you can.
Sharon, I've restored some of the data from the Vulgus experiment records. According to these records, the facility you're in is the private laboratory of General Amon of the Legion of Immortality. As it was Ironheart traces which led us to this place, Corell and Amon might actually be there.
It won't be an easy fight if they are.
Sharon,
Awaiting your transmission.
the traces of the Ironheart detected here. They're... never mind. I will let you know after I've performed further analysis.
Okay, Guide. They've synchronized the alarms with the nuclear reactor's self-destruct switch. What the hell are they thinking? They'd rather take everyone and everything with them than give up the Ironheart. I can modify the circuitry, find the alarms and destroy them. Disabled. Strange. I'm sure they wouldn't dare do something like that if Corell and Amon were actually here. For now, we need to stabilize the deactivated reactor, turn on the coolers. I'll continue tracking the Ironheart traces.
We will divide it into pieces and take it for ourselves.
All units transmitting critical operation details. From the restored Vulgus experiment records, I've reconstructed an audio recording that seems to have been made during the time of the experiments. Listen.
Legion will become greater from the Ironheart. Rise, my warriors! If your lives won't, stand in the vanguard. When you stand in the vanguard, Legion, Alzuruk submits to Lord Karel's command. The Ironheart will initiate the data inversion immediately.
It cannot be. Then these Ironheart traces are...
Alzarok.
I see you found the experiment record. Seems I wasn't thorough enough to clean up. Yes, I am Alzaruk. Lord Karel's Vanguard. Born again, thanks to the Ironheart. Lord Karel said you would come. I am to bring him your gift. I'll be waiting, Descendant.
Damn it! So the Ironheart's already gone then?
So this is why the traces felt displaced. Descendant, in order to increase the accuracy of our pursuit, we need to access all the data on Vulgus units who were transformed using the Ironheart. You must defeat Alzaruk. Sharon, will you relay a detailed report of this to HQ?
Will do. I'll be on my way. Good hunting.
It is over, Descendant. But there is so much information that it's hard to accept. This Alzarok is one thing. But Karel has ordered for the Ironheart to be inverted. Whatever that means. Inversion. What could that be?
on inverting the Ironheart data. If you do that, we won't be able to decipher the unidentified guide code. And
Enough! Ironheart data must be inverted in order to destroy the dimensional wall. I don't have time to think about that! You understand my vision now, don't you?
Oh, of course. I am only thinking of our research.
I'm glad to hear that our objectives are aligned. Initiate the data inversion. The path will engulf Increase. The roars of the Vulgus will fill this land with fear.
Descendant, I have the results of the operation from Sharon. Alpha is tied up with an emergency meeting with the Magisters. I have been ordered to brief you on the follow-up operation. Please make your way to HQ.
Magisters are probably humanity's real hope, don't you think?
Welcome. You're here for modules, right?